What is he doing? Going back on Blue's Clues? Is that what is happening here? Or is he, does Shapiro have kids? Is that the problem? You know, we once had on the show, and this was years ago, a fundamentalist Catholic. I can't remember his name. And I think we had some type of debate, and he was mad because his favorite show was Chopped, which was like a cooking show.
It went woke.
And he was watching it with his kids. And they do these, like, apparently they look at like the chefs and then they go behind the scenes into their daily lives.
Yeah.
And one of these chefs turned out to be a lesbian, and she was married to a woman.
Oh my God.
And it was so difficult for him to watch Chopped.
What do you tell your kids?
Austin Ruse of the Catholic Family and Human Rights Institute. I remember I was watching this recently, actually.
Yeah. And he was so upset because he was like, I can't, it's been ruined now for my kids. How do I explain to them? And I was like, how do you explain to them that a woman could be in love with a woman in the same way that a man can be in love with a woman, or a woman can be in love with a man, or just the way I just did to you right now.
Yeah,
that's it. Like it takes almost like 25 seconds. But he couldn't watch his favorite, and he was so mad. So mad. I don't know why I thought about that, but here's Ben Shapiro.
So, exciting news. Even the smallest children's shows are now going to promote trans nonsense. Apparently, Blue's Clues, you know, like the show for 3 to 5-year-olds? Apparently, they are now promoting...
Pause it for 1 second. You know why it's like always apparently? It's because he's just like, they just have like a search term, like trans or anything, and wherever it is. He has no idea. But go ahead.
So, exciting news. Even the smallest children's shows are now going to promote trans nonsense. Apparently, Blue's Clues, you know, like the show for 3 to 5-year-olds? Apparently, they are now promoting pride nonsense. Apparently, they've put out graphics. This is circa like 2021. They put out graphics of characters from Blue's Clues carrying gay pride flags. One of the beavers on Blue's Clues has had a top surgery. So, first of all, beavers don't have 2 nipples. I mean, it's weird that we're now supposed to talk about beaver nipples, but that's where we are as a society. But apparently, beavers trans themselves. Now, I have a little secret for you. Beavers don't actually do that. That's not a thing. But
wait, pause it. Where does the beaver, they talk about top surgery for the beaver?
Maybe the one with the heart on its nipple?
What is he talking about? I don't, like...
Now we have to talk about this.
Who's looking at... Will you please look at the beaver thing and see if there's any nipples there? I don't even know what he's talking about.
Okay, so an animated pride parade from Nick Jr.'s show featured a beaver with scars from top surgery. So he's talking about the beaver on the right.
Oh.
And apparently those are scars from top surgery.
What? How do they know that it's scars from top?
I mean, maybe Nickelodeon made
an announcement that beaver had top surgery? They're just making this up.
One particular, this is from Snopes, so I'm just reading into this. This was not the top news for me this morning, unfortunately, but one particular moment in this Blue's Clues Pride Parade drew special attention from members of the transgender community who saw the inclusion of a beaver with top scars, the scars from so trans people viewed this. So somebody on Twitter said, Blue's Clues taking the time to give this beaver top scars makes me feel a lot of feelings. It's a genuine... I'm trying to look for confirmation of actually...
That it wasn't just somebody just reading into like a beaver, you know, like having some shadow marks around the chest.
I mean, look, like they're carrying like pride flags, so maybe. Oh yeah, apparently Linz Emmer, the creator and activist specializing in yeah, this is too confusing for me to...
But the bottom line is that like no child watching this, it's possible that you know, one of the animators put in a you know, some type of like what do you call it? What do they call those things? Easter egg.
Easter egg, yeah. But you're not going to be able to interpret that.
They have a problem with the flags. I can assure you,
Yeah.
there is no 3 to 5 year old who go like, "Mommy, Daddy, did that beaver have top surgery?"
I also just don't. I also don't.
You know what else? You know what else beavers don't do? They don't wear hats.
or wave flags.
They don't wear flags. They don't wear capes. They don't have fans, and they don't have shirts. They
Also,
don't wear bracelets, and
None of us knew how to
they don't
interpret
stand
that.
on their hind legs.
Like we're adults that are familiar with trans people, and none of us identified those as top.
They're mad.
surgery
They're
scholars.
mad because there were gay people or trans people or LGBTQ friendly people working at Blue's Clues 2 years ago.
But yeah, so just to be clear, what you mentioned, Matt, that Linz Amer person, a creator,
consulted with
Nickelodeon to make this video and wanted to put some specificity in the characters. But one thing that also Shapiro glossed over is that this is a video from 2021. It's not even current. It's a 2-year-old Pride video from Blue's Clues.
But
that he's getting outraged out yesterday.
The idea that you would be offended by this as like the influence it could have on impressionable kids, like they are not going to notice that.
Oh
or
my
interpret it
God.
for what
Are you
that is, because
kidding me?
we didn't, and
No,
we're adults.
of course not.
It's
It's
hard
for
to even
people who
see
are.
it.
It's for the community.
Exactly. Yeah, keep playing.
It's weird that we're now supposed to talk about beaver nipples, but that's where we are as a society. But apparently, beavers trans themselves. Now, I have a little secret for you. Beavers don't actually do that. That's not a thing. But according to the people who make Blue's Clues, according to everybody who makes children's TV these days, it is necessary to push trans on the kids. Very, very important. And so that's why you're finding this sort of stuff in Transformers, as we talked about last week. Or we're finding it on Blue's Clues. You cannot allow your kids to watch children's TV. You can't. Don't let your kids watch children's TV without pre-screening the shows. Don't do it. Or alternatively, go subscribe to Daily Wire Plus. The kids' content is coming. I know. Everybody keeps asking when. The answer is soon. I promise I'll let you know as soon as we have it ready, but it's going to be amazing. Let us pre-screen the content for you, and that way your kids can watch stuff without worrying about whether a beaver is going to have her breasts removed or some such nonsense on Blue's Clues.
His ear at the first time.
Oh, now it all makes sense to me.
It's a plug. It's a
It
plug.
was a plug. I would be willing to bet that you could take every single child that ever saw that and ask them, did you see a breast reduction or removal scars on those beavers? I love the fact that he just sort of was like, beavers don't have breast reduction things.
Checkmate.
Because they only have one size of shirts, and then it would be baggy.
Here's an interesting quote from and I'm not an expert on beavers by any stretch of the imagination, but from a Margot Francis, who wrote, in a striking contrast to this early valorization of the patriarchal beaver, contemporary scientific research tells us that very few male beavers actually exist, as the majority of North American and all European beavers are partial hermaphrodites. The male beavers carry a female uterus. Now, maybe that, I don't know, there's
even
apparently
the
some
fact that
controversy over that, so, the biology, but I'll just say I found that interesting.
That's funny. On the IM, Beaver Nipples writes, tell Ben to stop talking about me. My eyes are up here.